I need my mind on Crysis 2. Crysis 2.
Yeah.
Crysis 2.
Yeah.
Crysis 2.
Crysis 2. Not 1, not 3.
Crises!
Yeah.
Crysi?
Oh, crisises. Crysi just sounds insane. More than one crisis. Crisy.
Crysi. Crysi sounds like the annoying girl in your classroom.
Yeah.
Whose parents were trying to find a unique white name.
Yeah, and she smells like carrots.
She's always chewing bubblegum.
Right?
Yeah. I gotta be. I'm crazy.
She's all of a sudden she's American. I like that.
Well,
I'm like, you're a virgin and you can't drive. Do you know that reference? You don't, do you? You're too young.
You're a virgin and you can't drive. Is that Mean Girls?
Close. I give you why you say that, but no. It's Clueless.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
I was thinking of the quintessential 2000s
yes, of course.
High school chick flick. No, it's actually the 90s quintessential chick.
Yeah, I only know that because
teenage chick flick.
Maybe watch it. It's a bad movie, but that bit is quite funny.
Really? Clueless is bad?
It's good. Now it's become good bad because it's so just pinnacle of the era, but it really is a bad movie.
Okay, I'm sure we'll get into it in critical cinema.
Exactly.
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of everyone's favorite podcast, the Critical Arcade Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Nick. Are you well?
Yes, I am ready for action.
Well, granted, this game gives you plenty of that. I'm not surprised.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I have another question for you, though.
Go for it.
Have you seen the 80s cheesy action flick, Blind Fury?
Oh my god, I don't think I have.
No, you must have.
Who's in
You
Blind
must
Fury?
have.
Well, who's
what?
In, like Van Damme or something? Who's in Blind Fury?
I don't know. I don't know.
You can't tell me if I've watched it and then go, I don't know who's in it, what it's about, or when it came out. But you haven't watched it? Blind Fury.
No, I was Blind. I'm sure you have. It's one of those dime a dozen cheap action movies of the 80s of a white man who goes blind and then is trained to be a samurai, but he's also extremely fit and attractive.
I have never watched that, but I do know who Rutger Hauer is, so that's at least that's something. The main guy. I have never watched this movie. Rutger Hauer.
Oh, is that? Oh, did you Google it real quick? Okay,
I did. I don't know how to say his surname, but he was the bad guy in Die Hard 2.
Oh, wow.
That's all I really know him from.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
And I'm guessing he's not really blind.
No, he's not. No, that was acting. He was in, he was a method actor in the. No, he's not really blind. Go on.
The game that we're talking about this week has got me in an action mood.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
We went to Trudy's dad's place, a very long time ago, and he just had to show us this new movie, and it was Blind Fury.
That is such a dad thing to do. Like, oh, you've got to watch this. Forget Avatar. Forget. This is movies. This is movie making.
This is cinema. They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah, exactly. Granted, I'm saying those words more and more each day as I get older, but I can see it. Oh, you got to watch this. It's a classic. Yeah, go on.
He hits people with his stick and he can't see, and he's wearing a toupee.
Right, yeah, that's like 3 of the top tag things in the 80s and 90s.
That was the action movie that I thought of while playing this week's game.
Well, you are strange. I thought of at least 3 different ones.
Really?
Which are so more related than Blind Fury.
I don't know. I think it's good.
Predator? RoboCop?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I instantly got transported to the classics.
I think I know why. It's because I've not seen either of those.
Oh, just hand
I
in your man card already.
I
get it, you've got 4 kids, but
yes,
it's teetering.
How about, introduce this week's game, then we can continue.
ladies and gentlemen, granted, this week's game is Crysis 2, not 1, because the list didn't think we'd need that one. Not 3, the newest one for all I could. No, 2. It said start off with the second one.
Yes. Thank you, list.
Crysis 2 released, all heard the list, released it in 2011. I'm still shocked by that. That's what, 13 years old? That's crazy. That's crazy. Developed by a company called Crytek. Now, you probably have heard of them if you know the Crysis games. And they also did the first Far Cry game a very long time ago, where it had very little to do with what the Far Cry games are now. Like, did you play the original Far Cry game?
I did not. I played Far Cry 2 because it's set in Africa.
Set in Africa. Yeah, I'm not surprised. The first Far Cry was all about like mutated experiments on the animals of the jungle.
What?
Yeah, seriously. It had no relation to like Far Cry 2, 3, and then of course all the ones come out. It wasn't like this just surviving the native populace. It was kind of a more sci-fi, alien-esque type scenario.
Okay, so Ubisoft just took an existing IP and turned it into something.
Yes, they did. They really took. Yeah, they took like a 180 on it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Ubisoft.
Right. It's originally a German company, and apart from the Far Cry games, they also have been concentrating a lot on VR games, and they released a game series called The Climb and The Climb 2. A completely VR game in regards to how you climbing and conquering mountains, but you feel like you're there and you're doing it. It's actually very pretty. It's a very pretty game.
That's nice. Well, I mean, and all the other games are pretty as well.
Yeah, and you can imagine why you would tilt into something like that. They're going for the VR type of hook. And I must admit, playing this game, I thought this would actually be kind of cool in VR. Like, I felt there were aspects of it that you could actually just incorporate into VR.
It would. It could be action-packed. You could feel like you're in Blind Fury.
Yes, yeah, and exactly right. See, you watch, everybody's like, oh no, Dave's wrong. Blind Fury's the perfect one to compare Crysis 2 to. Oh, 2-2, sorry. You're just... Another weird thing, Crysis 2, this blew me away a little bit, was written by a man called Richard Morgan. Have you heard that man's name?
Richard Morgan?
Yeah.
I've not. No, why is that?
I'm not that surprised. He's actually quite a prolific sci-fi writer now, and he was the one who first wrote Altered Carbon, the Netflix series.
Oh,
but the book originally.
Carbon. Okay, wow.
No, so yeah, he wrote those. Okay. And he wrote the story for the Crysis 2.
Just Crysis 2 and not all the Crysis.
No, I believe it's just for Crysis 2, but I can't be entirely sure on that.
I like Crysis. Out of all 3 Crysis games, I think I like Crysis 2 the most.
Is that because of the feeling it gives you when playing it? I'm guessing. Because
it's an amalgamation. I think it's a bunch of stuff.
Did you know that sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Did you know that the original Crysis games 1 and 2 didn't really make a ton of money? They broke kind of even. Yeah, really? Because the initial Crysis had that whole problem that a lot of computers couldn't play it. Yes. The second Crysis, and they have done in this, they gave the game the ability to play on lower end PCs and stuff like that.
And consoles.
Yeah, and it kind of came out to like the console was okay, the PC was okay, came out at the weird time, and the release of the games on the consoles, as with the PlayStation 3 and all those things, it only broke about even, but now with digital downloads and Steam and stuff, it actually has made quite a bit of money. But initially, it was seen as it did all right for the cost that it took to make it.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, no, I was shocked by that, because everybody was talking about Crysis.
Well, if it just broke even, could that not just be because of incredibly high production costs?
Yes,
like, sure. If it cost $100 million to make, breaking even is still impressive.
No, exactly right. It is depending on your cost and how much it costs to market. They marketed these games pretty hard as well. If I can imagine.
Yeah, of course, it's EA. They knew the first one was. It turned into this meme almost. So they knew if they marketed the second game, it would make them a lot of money.
No, exactly. I think you're right. The production cost was very high, and so the sales had to match that, which is quite an achievement. But yeah, it was a different era then when you had to...
Completely.
Make
the gaming landscape in 2011 is so much different than it is now.
No, exactly, yeah. So they were originally just okay games. Okay, should we jump into narrative?
Let's. So the narrative for Crysis 2, can you give us a rundown?
Oh, it's one of the... It's okay, you play as Alcatraz, which is your code name, I'm guessing, because they don't really specify anything else other than that. This is one thing about the narrative. At some point, I didn't quite get what was going on. You're in a submarine.
Yes.
You're going to New York City.
Oh, with your marine buddies.
Yeah, with all your cool dudes,
wow,
right?
Isn't it so fun to be in the army? Ooh, rah.
It was, and then of course, like these games, a tragedy occurs, and
yes,
you're escaping. There's a lot of fun cinematics to it. You escape and you come out, and then you get mowed down by a kind of like a helicopter thing from Halo, and then as you come out, you're getting dragged away from a cool dude in a nano suit.
Can I just say, it took way too long for that helicopter to actually hit you. You were staring at that helicopter for a good 10 seconds before it finally hit you.
And you're just floating in the water watching your friends like die, but you do nothing.
Get out! Swim away! Don't just look at the minigun aiming at you.
Yeah, okay. And then you get dragged out by a hero that kind of saves your life. A gentleman, which I found out was called Lawrence Barnes, who's actually the protagonist in the first games.
Is he?
Yeah, that's what I read.
Because I read his codename is Prophet.
Yes, that's right.
I read that the protagonist for Crysis 1 was Nomad.
Ooh, have we got contradicting stories? We have
no. I also don't know, because somewhere else I read yes. He was the protagonist from Crysis 1.
Well, when I was researching the voice actors, it's the same voice actor for Crysis 1, 2, and 3, which 3 is a bit of a mystery. Either way, we presume he is the same guy from Crysis 1, and he saves your life, but then hands over, I don't want to spoil too much, to be honest with you, hands over the suit for you it's now your turn.
Yes, you are now a Crysis dude.
Yeah, you've got the mantle. You will be the new prophet. And so you just, again, it's always funny to do these stories when you're a silent protagonist. And
come on, why always the silent protagonist?
I love it because I could just see him nodding, like,
yes,
like, and he just shrugs or just like, no, like he doesn't say a word. He's just these all deep conversations, and he's just going, yeah.
I mean, this was kind of, I don't want to say this was the time for it, but a lot of action games had silent protagonists.
Yes, no, of course. Yeah,
the original Dead Space came out a couple of years before this. Isaac Clarke was silent throughout that entire game.
And it is so much better with him voiced, but in the new one.
So much better.
It is so much better.
Give the protagonist a voice.
Yeah, it is
Alcatraz
still really weird.
/ Prophet. Give him a voice.
This game was released, I forgot to say, 3 years after the first game, so it's actually relatively closely tied to one another. And again, the story had me a bit confused initially why we were killing humans when obviously humans weren't the big issue, because there are these aliens that have released a virus that is slowly infecting mankind and turning them into kind of like a zombie...
Oh, can I just say...
meth head hybrid.
Can I point out one thing?
Go on.
I don't know if you noticed, but this game is set in the future.
Yes, I can see that, yeah.
This game is set in the vast year of the future in 2023.
Whoa. So we got nano
I know, but this was 2011. It was 12 years out. This was in 2023. And New York is struck with a deadly virus.
Oh, yeah. Got you.
And I'm thinking, wow, they were off the mark by just 2 years.
Yeah, I thought that's where you were going with it.
Yep.
But like I said, I'm in that same note, I'm kind of liking the idea that we might have nanosuits out there somewhere. Because, if the virus was
Prophet
kind of,
is out there somewhere in a suit.
I hope so. I hope we've developed
looking
cloaking.
at helicopters shooting it.
Yeah. And then the story gets... I'll give you the initial part of this game. The story's kind of slow and kind of boring. And I got to the point where I was playing each level and just saying, oh, who do I have to shoot? Okay, it's those people. And then I shoot those people.
But, I mean, that's the game. You're not playing this game for the narrative.
That is very, very true. And then I know that the aliens, again, are doing this so that your body would kind of die, and then they'd have other bodies, robots, like decompose you so that they can like just sweep you up and just chuck you off the planet or something. Which, the biggest thing that bugged me, now this is just going to be my nerd side of me coming out here, is that it's a copy of War of the Worlds.
What do you mean?
H.G. Wells, I think it was. I forget my authors. Have you watched War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, the movie?
Yes, I have. A very long time ago.
Right? And they come from under the ground and have the big tripod alien things, and they take humans and they kind of squish them, and their blood becomes these blood root things that's covering Earth, right?
Yes.
Right? It's almost the same story.
I get it, but our atmosphere isn't...
The atmosphere I wrote a bit later actually felt... I played this game and the narrative is kind of the same. It kind of reminded me of Half-Life 2.
Ooh,
did you get that vibe at all?
I did. Oh.
I don't care what other people say, I did.
I did.
Yeah, the whole vibe, especially it being in New York City, and the whole... I don't know, what's the city called in Half-Life 2? Do you know?
City 17.
Is that it? City 17?
That it is called City 17 because I can't even start to explain what's going on in Half-Life.
Okay, Half-Life's true, it's true.
It's in City 17.
So it's got that same feel, you know, it's that situation of the urban jungle compared to, of course in other Crysis games, or the first one, you're in a jungle, so they did do a 180 to the city this time. Yeah. The story felt a bit convoluted. I was like, and then later on, I don't want to ruin things, but everything seems to evolve around your suit. Like, somehow not only have you become a prophet, you've become the only means for humanity to now survive.
I think it fits the bill. I think if you're playing this game, you're looking for a good action romp.
Yes, and you're right.
Chances are, if you're getting this power fantasy, that's exactly what you're here for. So they got their target market down.
This is exactly what this game is, a power fantasy.
Yes. I'm not at all surprised that the humanity's resting on the shoulders of Alcatraz. I'm not at all surprised.
The man who says no words and shrugs at everything is the man who's got our lives in his hands. No, you're right. In a game such as this, which is funny because in the Far Cry games, narrative is kind of one of the main building blocks. This game is, like you said, it's pure power trip. The narrative is there for you to have a reason to shoot aliens and to shoot humans and save the day because you're just so much better.
Yeah, but who cares about the script? Shut up, Dr. Gould. I'm listening to metal.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And there was there's one spoiler I kind of liked, but I didn't want to say.
What?
And I'm reading Berserk at the moment. I don't know if you know of it, right?
I'd love to read Berserk. I know it's... Anyway, yes.
Later on, he gets an armor that's kind of, I'm not spoilers, but kind of hurts him whilst he wears it because it's so badass. It puts his body under strain. And there's later on and I don't quite get, I don't know if the suit, when the prophet saved you, spoilers, ladies and gents, were you dead dying when you put it on you?
Yes, I think you're dying, not dead.
Yeah. Because later on, they kind of refrain that without the suit on, you just collapse in a bloody mess of just like skin and organs. They say you're basically dead, but the suit is keeping you together. And that's why there's a chapter called Dead Man Walking, I think it's called. To denote that the suit, without the suit, you would die in an instant, which in theory, that's why Berserk has the same kind of concept. I thought that was cool. I thought that was a clever idea. I didn't know if I was dead when I got put in it, or just before that scene you kind of get attacked by a RPG, you kind of get blown up and stuff like that, and I don't know if that's what hurt me in regards to now I'm dying, but anyway, it's I'm rambling on. The story, as you say, isn't really there to get you through it.
No,
the power trip and play is.
I'm going to ask you, how much of the Warhammer 40k universe are you familiar with?
Ooh, not much. I played a couple of the tactical isometric type games in the past, but no, I'm afraid I don't. I'm looking forward to the new one, though. That combat one that's coming around the corner, which I've seen.
Oh, Space Marine 2.
Yeah, that actually looks like pretty a good time. Great, yeah.
So,
but anyway, you were saying.
This idea of Alcatraz being kept alive by a thread and is what the majority of the population is kind of kind of need him to stay alive.
Yes, of course.
That reminds me of the humanity's God Emperor of Man.
Okay, you're gonna have to.
He was this big, massive man, almost deity. He was 7 or 8 feet tall. He was the smartest and strongest and best person to have ever come from Earth, and he became the God Emperor of mankind.
Okay, cool.
But I can't remember what happened exactly, but he was assassinated or he was kind of blown to bits. But somehow, from the leftover limbs and organs on the throne, he's being kept alive by the tiniest of threads of mankind just sacrificing thousands of psychers each and every day to keep him breathing.
Wow, okay. So yeah, it's like I said, now when you phrase it as a thread, that's kind of a nice narrative now you phrase it that way, because like you said, it's a thread of hope. It's the end of the light at the end of the tunnel. The one man who has the answers could die if the suit gets damaged.
Exactly. And now that I think about it, it's in a couple of places. Crysis, Warhammer 40k, what was the one you mentioned?
Berserk.
Berserk. It's in a lot of places. Right. It's a cool narrative.
It is. Anything, like I said, if I go any further, there's a lot of spoilers coming in. Anything else narratively?
No.
Okay, now that's narrative done. What did you actually think of the visuals of this game then? Because this is
visuals,
where they were popular in the past, right?
That's what most people remember the Crysis games for. The visuals.
And melting your PC, yeah.
Yes, melting your PC, just going above and beyond, making this game look unnecessarily beautiful. And it does. Now that I can see the next decade after 2011, as we all can, this game looks like a game from 2016, 2017.
Yeah, no, it's true. No, I agreed entirely.
It's incredible the amount, what they were able to pump out of the Xbox 360, the PS3.
That's what I was when I was playing it. I kept thinking about the PlayStation 3, and I used to play Fallout New Vegas on it. And if you compare the graphics to New Vegas and then Crysis 2, you think, damn, how does a PlayStation 3 even do this? Like this should be next generation stuff. No, it's very pretty. I don't know. I know this is a polarizing. Do you like the opening sequence, like I put it down as like a movie opening, where it's the news and it's clips of disorder and actual actors going backwards and forwards. Do you like that or not?
Absolutely not.
Really?
That shit sucks.
I like it.
No, the only place that it was good was at the start of I Am Legend with Will Smith.
Okay, yeah, good, not a bad movie.
Only place that manages to land the breaking news cycle as an intro. And look, now we've got a split second of an amoeba.
Yeah, right. Morphing just into like cells and stuff like that.
The sun is setting in a quick 2-second time lapse.
People
are rioting in the streets. There's an anchor woman. All of that mushed into 3 seconds.
And
no, it sucks.
Breaking news across the bottom. Oh, well, no, yes. I thought that was a cool opening sequence. But then granted, like I said, it is a polarizing one because...
Yes.
It also, again, has like a 90s feel to it. Or maybe 2000s, maybe I'm going too far back. A few movies did it. I think even it reminded me of Cloverfield. I think Cloverfield did it, or not Cloverfield.
Which Cloverfield?
What was the first one called? It's got
Cloverfield.
And then this second one,
the Cloverfield Parrot. No, 10 Cloverfield Lane.
There you go. I knew one of them was an address. There you go.
Yes.
And they did it quite well as well in regards to just news anchors telling the story and stuff like that. I kind of like that type of thing.
I've not seen.
Obviously, you don't.
No, I've also not seen 10 Cloverfield Lane.
That's not bad. It's kind of like good, bad again. Like the acting's not bad in it. But anyway, I liked it. I thought the opening sequence was really kind of cool. You're right that the timings of certain things were kind of slow, and it is later on in the game too. Like everything takes place that's supposed to be dramatic, but it's really slowly paced. Like, did you got to that bit where there was another? This thing, the game does very well. Whilst you play it, you have cinematic pieces that you're part of. This again reminded me of Half-Life 2. Right, Half-Life 2 did the same thing. And it is, those things are great. When you're immersed in a game and you're on the roof.
And you get a good set piece.
Yeah.
Some games
Go on.
There are 2 franchises that do set pieces like no other.
Which ones?
Uncharted.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I'm with you.
And God of War.
I knew you were going to say God of War.
Of course.
Granted, they are, again, both narratively based kind of uber games in that regard.
Yeah. But if you do a set piece correctly, it could stick with you. The one I remember is from Uncharted 2. Excuse me, tiny tangent. There's this bit in Uncharted 2, which I think a lot of people still remember. When you're fighting on the train.
Of course, yes.
And the train goes into a tunnel.
Yeah.
And you keep fighting on top of the train. And then all of a sudden it comes out of the train. And all you see is just this vast landscape completely covered in snow, which is so different to what it looked like before the tunnel. And the music swells and Nathan says a quip. And I was thinking, wow, this is gaming.
Right, yeah, that's why that game won Game of the Year, didn't it? Uncharted 2.
Yes, so there's a cheaper little set piece that other games can kind of do as well. What were the set pieces in this game you're talking about?
This one, there's one bit where you're walking through New York City, going to find that annoying guy on comms. What's his name?
Dr. Gould.
Thank you, Dr. Gould. And then there's Apache helicopters and an alien spacecraft, and they're kind of like fighting in the air.
Yeah.
And they're sending out missiles, and it hits into the building, and the building goes...
Yes.
That took so long. It, again, for me, was paced really slow. I was like... I looked up, you're looking at the helicopters go by, you got a bit of action, and then I saw it shoot the helicopter.
Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, that was it. So I was like, oh, okay, ready. I'm bound to get like an objective marker come up now, or some narrative audio. And I was like, why is that? And I looked up, and it was still going. The helicopter plummeted in the building, and the building started moving, and I was like, geez, like, I'm being fussy. It was still a cool bit. But when I've just come off killing 600 people with my badass suit and stuff, and I get slowed down, it kind of takes away... It does
ruin the pacing.
Yeah, it's like, I remember that scene in Superman versus Batman, I think. That bit where Ben Affleck's running around the street because Zod and Superman are fighting.
Oh, yeah, and he runs into the chaos?
Yes, exactly. That's the type of, like, chaos I wanted from that bit, but it was so slow-paced, I was like, oh... It was like looking on a bus tour going through New York. It says, and to your right, you'll see an alien spacecraft crash into a building. Okay,
to a degree, most games of the first HD era, PS3, 360, hadn't figured out pacing just yet.
I agree.
They had these massive budgets, and they big publishers like EA weren't okay with players missing content.
True. Yeah, no. Right? I actually agree. Yeah.
Right, like now with Elden Ring, they don't care if you miss an entire area. Just
agreed.
Do whatever. But then they had to make sure you saw every millisecond of this set piece.
No, I agreed. Like I say, it was just a bit slow. The set pieces themselves are actually kind of a lot of fun, and they're visually just exciting to see.
That's great. Because that's always a good time.
The narrative and the audio wasn't my favorite. The best was the visual storytelling that you got to see.
Yes, I think for most people, the visuals for Crysis 2 are always going to be the best part of this game. Yes, definitely not the narrative.
It's what they concentrated on, wasn't it? They're known to have concentrated on as well. I mean,
it should. The fact that they got this running on the 360 and PS3 is incredible.
Crazy.
And it should be lauded. It should, even though it's EA.
Another thing I kind of liked, and I said this before, kind of ties into the whole VR thing. I liked how the nanosuit overlay was your inventory and your guns, and even your upgrading your suit was your hands, so it actually felt like, you're not pressing tab to go to your inventory menu, or you're not pressing I to sort of... Everything was, again, it reminded me of VR, because you checked out your guns.
You're using your actual hands.
Yeah, and the modifications were there, and... No, it was really a clever little idea.
I think it's a good point. A Crysis VR game would go... hard.
I think it's kind of what their plan is. Ooh. I think this climbing game is them getting used to the software and the build system and stuff like that. I think they are going to, the next step will be to make, look at events. I always get this wrong. Horizon Zero. Thank you. They did that VR game, didn't they?
Yes, Call of the Mountain.
Yeah, which is beautiful and stuff like that. Yeah. I figure Crytek will do the same thing soon. In the next year or
I
so,
hope so, because Crysis 4 is in development. Yes. Having a VR mode would
work
be
so
an incredible asset.
Yeah, it really would. Anything else visuals you want to...
No, there are just a couple of medium type things, like the particle effects working, the environments being detailed. I am a big fan of this being in the city. If I look around and I can see just ruined skyscrapers, I'm happy. That shit's the coolest thing.
And noticeable land locations, right? I know that Last of Us and stuff does it too, but just seeing Madison Square Garden and stuff like that when you're in New York, no, it is cool. It's very cool.
Oh yeah. No, there's a lot to like about this, and I think they got the location very, very they got it down. Also, I might be in the minority here, but I don't like the design of the suit.
How so? What did you like about it?
Specifically the visors. I think it looks like a dumb pair of bicycle glasses.
Okay, like I say, I'm normally the picky one, but yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, the visors were like everything else was cool and like woven into muscle fiber.
It looked like muscles all around you and a spine. No. But no, the head or the face looks particularly bad for me, which is a subjective opinion. No, they look like visors, and you look bald.
Yeah, that's true, I suppose. Yeah, that's
right. Master Chief's got a little cap. Doom Guy, it's very clearly a helmet. But
that's right.
What? Here? Alcatraz, you look bald.
Whoa, it's going to start hurting my feelings soon. Ladies and gents, I'm a man with basically no hair. And Nick's there just going, you look bald. Why are you bald?
It's not...
like that scene from SpongeBob SquarePants. Bald!
I didn't mean
I'm going to say,
bald people are cool.
I like the suit. It allows my baldness to fit in with it. Thank you very much. Anything?
No, that's it. Let's go to audio.
You must be excited by the audio because.
Oh yes, right? I am. I checked out. It really does feel like EA pulled out all the stops for this one.
Yeah, there was a budget.
They had a good game for the first one. They just needed to push it a bit further, add a bit more to the budget, and I think the audio is where a big part of the budget went because of one person.
I knew this was coming. I knew this was the one that you...
Of course. Everyone who knows this is where we're going. Yeah. EA got Hans Zimmer to do part of the soundtrack. Hans Zimmer.
It's crazy. Now, ladies and gents, if you don't know who Hans Zimmer is, you probably do. You've watched many of his movies that he's done the score to. He's the one who recently did the soundtrack for the Dune movies. Yep. He did that really beautiful soundtrack for Interstellar. He also did the Dark Knight series of films, right? He was the composer.
I think he did Tenet and...
You've
Inception.
Definitely watched a movie that he's done the score with.
You have. Don't lie, listener.
Yeah. Everyone's heard the Interstellar music.
Don't lie, Jonathan. I know you're listening.
Jonathan?
I don't know. It's just
such a liar. He's just a known liar, Jonathan. But yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Hans Zimmer, right? I don't know. Was the 2011 this came out, right?
Yes.
Was he peak then? Was he a super famous composer? Did they spend
Dark Knight was 2010. Dark Knight Rises was 2011. Inception was 2010. So this was the year after Inception, which is the big one.
So you're right. The budget on this was big. You don't just like...
It had to be. If they got Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other part that I really liked it had to be Hans Zimmer who added it was the 2-note guitar riff.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go Google the Crysis 2 main theme.
Yes, that's right. That would do it.
To no surprise, the main theme for Crysis 2 has 20 million views on YouTube.
Jeez.
Because it's that good.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. Like for a game tune.
Yeah, a game
like Halo,
from
I get you and stuff
13,
like that,
14 years ago. The main theme on YouTube has 20 million views. And it's good. It's good. It's an incredible main theme. The main reason I like it is because of the guitar riff added by. It had to be Hans Zimmer. I'll put money on it. Right.
Okay.
It's only 2 notes and it goes up and down, alternating between the two of them. But the pitch, the timbre, the percussiveness in the background, the intensity, it reminds me of the riff for Wonder Woman years later.
Oh, and the Gal Gadot one, right? No,
yeah.
I can almost picture it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the one. That's right.
Yeah, but even they couldn't manage to do that without using more than 2 notes. It's incredible, and it boggles my mind that this was in a game from 13 years ago and kind of forgotten.
Yeah, no, agreed. Like
I don't want to say forgotten because Crysis 2 definitely isn't forgotten, but I mean,
it's not well known like the Halo.
No, it's not, and it should be. It should be more well known than it is.
No, you're right. Do you know that this game actually released alongside it soundtracks, a soundtrack CD, and 4 different ones for each different release. Each CD had extra tracks on it because Crysis has been remastered and a part of a trilogy, and there was even a collector's edition, I believe, back in the day. They all released a soundtrack to go along with it because of how it's Hans Zimmer. You don't just like slightly put that in the side. You release a big chunky CD or LP to go along with your game.
Yes. Just the name Hans Zimmer on something would sell it.
Exactly. There was another weird thing. Granted, I don't know. You may have watched this. You've watched the Venom movies, or at least one of them recently.
No, I haven't because they look bad.
They're escapism. I wouldn't say they're amazing, but you must have seen the trailers. You must have heard Venom.
I have, yes. I've seen Tom whatever, and I've seen Venom.
Yeah, and I thought the suit, the narration of the suit when it spoke to you sounded just like Venom. It was all.
You're right.
I was like, I thought, whoa, is that? It's weirdly exactly like Venom speaking to you.
Of course. Oh, and there's so much. And the suit, just like Venom, envelops the main character.
Yes, right. No, there is like weird connections. There's suit.
You're onto something here.
Wouldn't it be weird if it all came out that the Crysis, the suit, was actually Venom all along, and it's a big multiverse
and at the end of Crysis 9, you fight Spider-Man.
Yeah, right. You just find out that you've been tracking down Spider-Man all the time.
Yes, you're actually part of the Sinister 7.
Yeah, I would love those. I'd love the idea that all games have been coming up to like an end game type narrative where they all just fit into each other. Kind of like a Ready Player One. I love that movie just because of the same premise.
Wouldn't it be?
I looked at a few of the voice actors in there. Tara Strickland, the lady with the ponytail to me. She was played by a lady called Jane Perry, who also does... Diana Burnwood from the Hitman series of games, the lady who gives you your missions. And
yes, okay, that's a good voice.
And I know this is a game that you've played. She plays Celine Vassos in Returnal, which I think you've definitely played.
She's Celine?
Right? Yeah, she's Celine.
Oh, wow!
So she's
goodness.
She's a big name, and this is one of the ones that I love. This is what I like doing the research because it's so random sometimes. Later on in the game, you meet a gentleman known as Chino, he's an army guy who you kind of team up with at the end, right? He's played by a gentleman called Joey Anash, and weirdly enough, he's done a bit of voice acting. He's very into Street Fighter and stuff.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing: have you ever watched Bourne Ultimatum?
The Bourne Ultimatum. Oh, are you going to say he's the man that says...
Go on.
The line.
Is there a line in the... I'm blanking. What line are we...
What? There's this big joke of old man looking at screen...
Oh, yes, okay.
That
I
says,
know that one.
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
No, okay, yes, not him. Granted, I'll give you. It is a great bit. Man. Old man, he's actually quite a prolific actor, by the way.
Yes, excuse me, prolific actor, old man.
But no, okay, you sounds like you may have watched this movie, or you've watched enough, clips and trailers.
Of the Bourne Ultimatum?
Yeah.
I've not seen it.
Okay, that man card is slipping out your hand more and more.
It really is, quicker than I can grab it.
Do you know there's quite a prolific fight in it, though? In regards where Matt Damon's in a house and he uses books and a pencil and they fight in a room and all this other situation go. Do you know that fight? You don't know that fight?
Come on, no, jeez. I don't.
It's like one of the greatest choreographed fights in cinema history. Either way, Chino, the gentleman who voices him, is the bad guy in that fight.
Oh,
he is the one fighting Matt Damon in that
so you're allied with Army Man who has fought Matt Damon.
Right, yeah, and didn't survive. But it's such a prolific scene, and it was such a good stunt actor, and he voices Chino in this. I love those little
they probably
stories
recorded this game before that fight.
I don't know. 2011. It depends.
No, because he died.
That's very true. Very true. It must be again. That he was so hardcore he died during his role.
Such a lame joke.
It was. Anything else audio-wise?
No, I really like the audio. And at this point, by just looking at the narrative, which is subpar, the visuals and the audio are impressed me quite a lot.
Yeah, no doubt. This is where they spent, I wouldn't say all their budget, but they certainly spent a ton of it. I also kind of liked the little conspiracy theorist DJ that you often found on the radio as you walked around, and he was just sprouting his nonsense. But yeah, that was it. Okay, so we go to gameplay then.
Let's.
And I've written one very big word. We've jumped upon it already in this conversation. It's just power trip.
Power trip, 100%. Of course, yes. The first game did this. The second one, obviously, and the third one did as well. You're playing this game for a power trip, for the power fantasy.
Exactly.
The new gameplay element they added for the second game would be a sandbox.
Yes, that's right.
They did it for the first one, but they expanded it massively for the second one.
Yeah, it's one of those games where just the gameplay wise, none of it makes much sense, but it's just too much fun for you to really even think about it too hard. There are ammo crates everywhere. Doesn't matter which corner you go into, there's ammo.
Great.
Of course, everything I love. Like I said, the whole thing is the narrative is such a power. Everything is power kicking.
Yes.
Or choke hold the aliens in your hand and throw them, or use them as a shield. Everything is about you and your suit and having scenarios where you can just.
It makes very little sense.
No, none of it does. But
just the power kicks. If you hold down melee, you can just power kick a car.
Yes. Again, there was a funny bit because you can kick cars all over the place, and there's one little a sequence which you have to do narratively where he has to kick a telephone box or something like that because it's in the way.
Yeah.
And his kick on that is only just enough power to it to topple over. But when you play the game, you can kick a car like across the screen.
Yes.
I just love it. It's power kick, and you just go doop. And it's like, but everywhere else you power kick anything.
It's all over the place. At the very start, when you jump off a building from the 20th floor, and you don't land on the ground. You land on one of those glass roofs over front doors of skyscrapers.
That's right. Yeah.
And you don't fall through.
Yeah, right,
it just cracks a bit.
Yeah.
What?
We don't know this.
Makes no sense.
But Alcatraz is actually a 5'2", 60 kilo like little fairy. But the camera angles are all from lower down, so it looks tall.
Yes,
and
Alcatraz is actually in the 5th grade.
Yeah, right. That would be a good twist. I'd be down for that. Like all of a sudden we're sitting. Yeah, just like a Shazam type aspect to it.
Yes, the entire military squad sent in to infiltrate New York. Yeah. You were the IT guy. You're the coder.
Yeah, that sounds like the narrative of like an old 90s cheesy
Prophet
movie, right?
Picked you up, and while you were unconscious, he just said, "Oh shit, got the wrong one."
Yeah, man makes the final decision, and he makes a mistake. You know it. It is fun. I do like thinking like that when playing these games. And again, the combat is quite simple, only because your suit is kind of OP. Like, when you can activate your armor, you really take very little damage. When you activate your stealth suit,
you can do anything.
You can do anything. Even when you shoot them, run away, stealth suit, you're sorted again. It is a power fantasy. It is, like I said.
Yes, it's a power fantasy for all of 4 seconds.
Yes, yeah.
And then you turn back into a 5th grader.
Yeah, it's just...
When that energy meter runs out.
Yes, that's true.
You're just man.
You know, for like 20 minutes, I thought that energy meter was my health.
Oh.
I was like, what? I'm not getting shot. Why is it red? And it took me, oh wait, that's his energy. And I was like, where the hell's my health gauge then? Was it that little thing on the left, the red one?
No. That was your stealth. That was your awareness. If somebody saw you, that would be full. It's the little eye in Skyrim. That's what that bar on the bottom left was.
Where the hell was your health gauge then? Because
this was 2011. Your health was the amount of blood spatters.
The Gears of War thing. I thought it might have been
Gears of War, Call of Duty. Okay, that's what that was.
Okay.
This was 2011. That was
of course. That's the way to do it, right? That was the way. That's how you did things.
And you just crouch for 2 seconds, and then you'll be fine. And then your organs are all back in place.
You did get that was a thing. You go away for 2 seconds, you're fine again within an instant.
It slightly makes more sense here because of the nano suit.
Yeah, that's true. That's
right?
True. A lot of this game is a lot of fun. Even every scenario you come across when you got a bunch of aliens and stuff, there's red barrels, there's platforms you can hide, you can go get a sniper rifle. There's lots of fun little strategy aspects to the gameplay that they
make sure that
purpose.
you get this big sandbox and you can infiltrate stealth. Just bulldoze your way through. You've got a visor to scope out the entire thing.
Yeah.
I can very clearly see how this influenced all the Far Cry games.
Yes, you can. Yeah, I agree. Even the AI in regards to the bad guys, you could almost see it was like the prelude to the AI in the Far Cry games that we have now. The running for cover and the just the way they act, and even the spraying their gun across their cover to like panic fire, so to speak. It was reminiscent of the Far Cry games that we play and love now.
Yeah.
Would you consider some parts of this game a horror game?
Absolutely not.
It was such a long build. Absolutely no chance. I did.
No way, no. Horror? Which parts?
They're melting humans. You go to a crashed ship. You got melted humans everywhere. People dying all around you. Weird little Twi'leks from Star Wars that are, granted, they're quite funny. They remind me of what was that Lego set? Bionicles, was it?
Yeah, Bionicles.
They remind me I was taking down Bionicles because they all look like them. A part of me, granted, I'm not a horror game player, ladies and gents. I'm not that type. That's not my type of jam. Was kind of whoa. Where'd my fun little sandbox of being outside and just kicking ass? Now I've got dark corners and human sludge to deal with.
It's because, in Doom, you go to literal hell.
You do. That's very true.
I'm not scared. I'm Doom guy.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. I'm the guy who sent you on that mission on Earth, safe and sound in my skyscraper and plenty of money.
A big part of what makes horror games scary is the what's it called? I had it a second ago, right?
Your brain
the complete opposite of a power fantasy, right?
Yeah, the atmospheric, silent stealth.
No, you can do absolutely nothing. Daniel in Amnesia, in Brandenburg Castle.
Yes, okay, got you.
Well,
yes,
you can't do anything. You need to haul ass, run away.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't do shit.
That is the scariest aspect.
Right? In Crysis, you can turn into Thanos for 5 seconds, and those 5 seconds are enough.
Yeah, there was literally one part where the narrative would just kept going on and on, so I just kept going forwards, and it would talk, and I was just shoot this guy, grab that guy, shoot.
Yeah.
This game is about just shooting things, saving the world, very
Yes. But if they added quote-unquote horror sections, it's to try and fix the pacing.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, that's true. Yes,
they're
to
trying
slow
to
it down
add
a bit.
so many stuff to make this into the game of all games, the game of the year.
Yeah, agreed. But there was one thing that bugged me.
Yeah.
You played Halo?
Yeah.
Have you played Halo? You haven't? Okay.
I kind of played Combat Evolved a bit.
You played Halo. God, it didn't really happen in Dead Space. But okay, you're taking on aliens. You're a badass. You're kicking ass. You got your guns and stuff like 100%. That. What's one of the most fun things, and I say Halo because this is probably one of the most predominantly fun things about it, when you're kicking aliens' ass and you've got your Uzi and your shotgun. This is quite a loaded question because you probably never get it. What's one of the most fun things about aliens and when you kill them?
What you mentioned Dead Space earlier, and one of the funnest things to do was stomping on them. So I'd say meleeing them. Okay,
granted, your mind's a lot more darker than I expected. You can't pick up all your aliens are shooting you with laser weapons and badass guns,
alien guns,
and you can't pick them up. I'm thinking, come on, you can't pick up the alien weapons. Don't tell me you could, because I swear I couldn't.
No. But I kind of understood why. It was part of their suits.
That's still, come on, that didn't stop
Yeah,
Halo.
okay, I agree,
Halo,
still.
All you picked up from the aliens was their like their fart energy that you used to power your suit. That was it.
What did you say? Fart energy?
Yeah, the fart energy. When they died, there was this big cloud of fart over their bodies.
Oh, right, okay. So you just smell their farts and then move on.
You suck it up into your nano suit and you level up somehow. No, I just thought, well, as soon as
Alcatraz, if you want your suit to become alien, you need to smell their farts.
Yeah, that was also
Alcatraz, smell their farts.
That lame narrative thing was that your suit will now power up just because aliens.
Just because you smelled their farts?
Yeah, we made all this technology, and now the only way to upgrade it, or well, later on narratively you upgrade it, is, just grab their DNA and your suit will make you better.
It should be fine. I don't like that as well.
It's
also,
fun, though.
It was 14 years ago. This was,
I agreed.
This was what
but
games
give me
were.
a goddamn laser gun. Come on. We shoot aliens. We want laser guns. For me, that's part and parcel why I'm shooting aliens.
Yeah.
But apart from that, gameplay's fun. There's like even little things. There's a few collectibles you can find here and there, dog tags and souvenirs and
emails.
Yeah, there's a lot of you like that type of thing. Just collecting these things along the way to add in between all the shooting and the murdering and all the other things you do to save humanity, or just New York City in this case. But yeah, the power trip of this game in the gameplay is definitely what they were going for, and it is a ton of fun to actually do. It doesn't really matter about the narrative.
And I'd say it aged fine.
Yeah, agreed.
In a lot of newer games, you have more than just 3 options: armor, strength, camouflage. Mm-hmm. In newer games, you constantly get fed more. And even in this game, when they give you the 3 big ones at the start for the entire game, it's fun.
I agree.
It's fun. I'd say it aged all right.
In fact, I'd say the new Far Cry's go a bit too far. Haha. Sorry, play on words. With all the collectibles and all the things you got to skin and shoot and get and this to power up this. I think that sometimes that's a bit of a slog. Whereas, like I said, you get all the powers pretty much at the beginning. I feel like you could probably complete the game without upgrading your suit at all, to be honest with you, with the initial powers you have. But there is fun to be had doing that. It's a power play. You are the badass. You are going to save New York City.
And with the gameplay loop as good as that, I think, that's value for money. We can get into that.
Okay, so let's jump to performance then. What did you have performance-wise?
This is weird. It's always been one of the benchmarks for new PCs. The original Crysis, I think, still is.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, it is, yeah.
Did I might have this wrong, but I think it's an incredible feat to have this run on a PS3 and an Xbox 360.
Yes, that's what they concentrated, because this Crysis 1 had such an issue with lower end PCs and the state of the build they made. Yeah. They definitely concentrated on still having the capability of having a really high end computer play it, but also mid-tier PC and the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. And I swear, did I read that you could get it on Switch?
Yes.
Right? Which is insane.
I don't think it runs
it can't run
at all. But yes, technically it runs on the Switch.
Which is crazy. It just can't run well on that, because it can't even play Arceus and Pokemon games. It's never played this game, okay. But yeah, so performance-wise, did you have issues?
I had some gameplay issues. Near the start of the game, you kind of infiltrate their base, and you need to head south. And there's this car that drives past and drops off enemies, and you shoot them, and you drive the car.
Yes, right.
I reloaded that checkpoint, and the car just wasn't moving.
Oh, like you couldn't control it at all?
No. It got stuck. I went looking for the car, and it never started its route. The 2 enemies were stuck in the car, not moving. I couldn't shoot them through the window. It bugged out completely.
Oh, that's annoying. But
it is. So, I mean, it's not without its bugs.
But like, what it wasn't, especially now and even then back in the day, the PC builds were evolving so much in regards to graphics and AMD and Intel and it's like I said, at least
it wasn't game breaking.
Yeah, exactly. I had a few things which you see in games now, bodies that didn't die when they died, they stood in place, and or assets that didn't actually exist when you went near them, because you can pick up things and throw them. Some of them you can, some of them you can't. But no, I didn't really have any problems my end either.
It's a lot of smaller things, nothing big.
Yeah. Okay, so value for money, what did you think?
value for money, I think with this sandbox they made, the gameplay loop is incredible. It makes the value for the money that you spend on this game so much better, so much more. There are 2, 3, 4 different ways you can tackle each mission.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, with each part.
Right, you can cloak, you can power through, or tank. You can kind of take a defensive stance. There are a couple of ways you can go through it, and I just find that very, very cool.
See, this is where you and I have a little bit of a contradictive of thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, Crysis 2 actually had a fairly decent multiplayer, which unfortunately now, due to time and the internet space itself, is no longer supported.
No,
so
makes sense.
A large chunk of this game, which was quite it was quite a popular multiplayer game back in its day because of the sandbox and the ways you could kill one another and sneak up and what's better than having just one power trip guy than having like 8 or so on the screen try to kill one another, right?
Makes sense.
It's a lot of fun. So that's not supported much anymore. But I just thought the game itself is relatively long. I'd say you got like 10 or so hours if you were to trudge through it. But I just thought the gameplay is fun, but the story just being the same, it just didn't really have that much more for me. Like one completing it, I used every aspect of the suit, the armor, the strength, and the stealth. I just thought, would I do it again and just go down one direction? I just don't think narratively it would pull me back. Like it has one end. It has one ending. There is no. I know we're spoiled now, but it doesn't have much going on. And on another subject, have you seen the price of this game? It's balmy.
What?
When I was looking at the price of this game, you could on EA's website, which I didn't even know they sold digital games on EA's website. They've actually done it before. They're selling the original, not the remastered, for $25.
Okay, yeah, that is
on Steam. They're selling it for $25.
It's a lot
for a game that's 12? How many years old? 12 years old or so. That was a lot. But strangely enough, the weirder thing is that you can buy the remastered version of this game for $6. You can buy the remastered, the better made, I'm guessing, game.
The newer, more supported, better version.
Yeah, that's right. You can buy for $6 on Steam, and I think it was around $10 on PlayStation Network or PlayStation subscription service, or what you call it.
Yeah.
So that was a bit. I was shocked. It made me laugh how out of touch EA is that they still have the old one on there.
No,
like
I don't think it is
$25.
them being out of touch. I think it's them doing this mistake on purpose to try and catch some extra, some jimmies who's accidentally buying the wrong version because their friends bought it. I think they're trying to capitalize on people being dumb. There's no mistake on their part.
I hate that because you do see that type of practice out there.
Yes,
sometimes
it sucks,
you do,
and it is absolutely what they're doing.
Yeah, granted, we all know. We won't delve into the miasma that is EA and their games and their business ethics and stuff like that. It's one of those dodgy companies. If you don't know, ladies and gents, why you should buy indie games. Just another little side note. So, like I said, you thought that we split opinion there in regards to gameplay. Like you like the gameplay loop and you would play it again. Me, this is a wham bam thank you ma'am type situation. I'd play it and I probably wouldn't pick it up again.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
A lot of people play games for different reasons. Some like stories, some like gameplay loops. There's no wrong reason to play these types of things. And if you enjoy it for different reasons than other people, that's fine.
Exactly. Everything is relative, and everything is just. We're here to show you which games are actually quite good and you should give a go, and not.
Yes, you should listen to us and give us your money.
Yeah, all the time. Like you're giving other people money. Why not us, right? Everyone's giving people money. Anyway, what did we score this game?
Let's see here. Crysis 2. Okay. Our scores for Crysis 2. We put in a Serb and we sent it to New York to fight the Ceph, the alien race infecting the population with viruses. In the early 2020s. It's definitely not COVID. Our scores got attacked by the Ceph, but only one survived. The 5th grader that Prophet saved and gave his suit to, that turned him into the letter grade rating of B-.
Which is actually, for a game this old, and just shows that it actually kind of holds up, right?
Yes, it does. It holds up. I'm very glad it got B- because this game definitely holds up.
It is, and it's like you said, it's a if you enjoy things like I was playing the Call of Duty campaigns, those are a bit more narratively like fun and fleshed out on a narrative sense, but it plays the same linear, go from there to there, shoot things, become great, have kind of a dramatic ending to the things you do, and rinse and repeat for the first one and the third one, I'm guessing.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's, like I said, I often play, and I know you're the same way, in regards to time restraint when you get to play games. These games, you'll tilt towards these games because they're quite a short, and you can get quite a good amount of gameplay in such a short amount of time. So like you said, every circumstances kind of denote what type of games you're going to play at given times. And this game is a good, quick little, just shoot things and kick things and aliens.
Come on. That's all I want sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly right. That's exactly what this game's here for.
This is a good one, so I liked it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yep. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Critical Arcade Podcast. Be so kind. You can leave us a review, or don't. That's fine too. You can follow us on our social media channels. I don't know why I'm still saying channels. We kind of dropped Instagram.
Yeah, it's true.
You could find us on YouTube. How about that?
Everybody loves YouTube.
I love YouTube. You love YouTube.
Yeah, go look for us there. We're great.
Yeah, you could send us an email at nick@criticalarcade.com. How does this usually go?
You can contact me at nick@criticalarcade.com and me, Dave, at critical. Oh, I just did that all wrong. That's why you have to do it.
It doesn't matter. Email us. Do it, damn it.
Email us. Either one of us.
Dave, where can we follow you?
You can follow me out and about, but by all accounts, because I live on the other side of life, I decided to befriend the aliens, the Ceph in this game.
The Ceph? You're friends with the Ceph?
Please, they got laser guns. I've already told you. I'm tired of shotguns and pistols. I did. They shared their fart technology with me, and now I can make you into a mindless, weird, slow zombie that will slowly be eaten away by weird robotic bugs for, I don't know, nutrition. I don't particularly remember exactly what it was for, but yeah, I can do that now. They were good. They were nice enough to share their fart technology with me, and now I have the ability to.
Do you by any chance see tripods outside and Tom Cruise running?
All the time, but that's because I'm chasing his small ass. Tom Cruise, he's always running away from me.
He's got a very funny run.
He does have a funny run. Very serious when he runs. It's like he's thinking about something very dramatic.
Yes, and he goes. There he goes. There goes Tom Cruise.
That's what happens when your legs are that small. They make a different noise. But anyway,
follow us on Patreon for exclusive content like Critical Cinema and our post show. You can follow us there for more exclusive, very good content. Dave, how about you enlighten us? What have you got lined up for next week?
Next week's game, we get to jump into the Indy 500 again, and this time we're playing a 2019 game called Erica. Yeah. That's it, just Erica, lady's name.
I've never played Erica, but I've seen it. Is this the FMV game?
The FNB?
FMV.
Oh, God, what to say? What does FM? What does that mean? I know what that means, right? I know what that means.
I think it's full modeled video.
There you go. Yeah. See, I knew that. That was. You're right. I knew that, and I'm correcting you. That's that's kind of like what's that other?
Oh no, full motion video. Full motion video.
Like the Quarry or what the hell those games are called.
No, the Quarry is still animated with CGI.
Oh, okay? Either way, this is
FMV.
Real
it's
actors,
actual
right?
actors, and it's shot with actual cameras.
That's kind of cool. So it's like an interactive TV program then, by all accounts,
think
like on
so?
Netflix. Well, it's one we've not reviewed before, so that'd be kind of a fun time to jump into, like an interactive TV drama, kind of looks like. It actually says interactive thriller on its tagline. I just see it here, so that's cool. I enjoy that. That looks like a good time for more than one person. Like you can join in, a group of people can play.
You're right. You're right. I'm definitely gonna do that now.
So yeah, you got to tune in next week to see what we do
that
of Erica.
To listen to us talk about Erica, and we'll see you then. Cheers.
Cheers.